What up, fam? I am Dr. DeLuna, and you are listening to Drop It Like It's Doc podcast. I can't even believe that I am 39 weeks pregnant today. And today I want to share with you all the things that I'm doing to get ready to welcome my little baby girl into the world. Fam, it's kind of bittersweet. It's kind of surreal that I am sitting here talking to you about what I'm doing to prepare to give birth, because to be honest, most days I wake up and I don't even remember that I'm pregnant. And then I try to move and I'm like, holy shit, okay, whoa, you're pregnant. And I've gone through a lot during this pregnancy. I didn't even mention on any episodes yet that I lost a dog during this pregnancy, Casey, episode 50, my queen, my heart, my soul. I have grown so much as a human. I have grown a human. My relationship has changed and expanded. My life has transformed, and I just cannot even believe that I am technically 1 week out from my due date and that I'm going to be birthing a baby soon. And a lot has gone into this preparation wise, and people ask me all the time, are you ready? Are you ever ready? Are you ever ready to jump off of a cliff? Are you ever ready to jump into this new timeline of existence? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm going to share with you some things that I am doing to center myself, to ground myself, and also to just have the best possible birth that I can have, regardless of where the universe and my baby take me on this journey. So the first thing that I am doing is I am taking damn good care of myself. I've taken the past, where even are we now? What time of the month is it? I've taken the last 3 weeks off because honestly, you never know when your baby's gonna come. You never know. First time moms, they say that you can go to like 42, upwards of 44 weeks before your baby comes. I also have some first time moms that birthed at 36, 37 weeks. So I wanted time for me to be in my own space, for me to not be putting energy outwards, for me to take a break from my practice, for me to set up my home. So I have been on leave for the past couple weeks, which I'm well aware not everyone has the ability to do, but if you do, highly recommend it. So I have been getting my home ready. That means setting up all the baby stuff. That means, washing all the baby clothes, making sure there's diapers, making sure that all of that is taken care of for baby, but also me. I'm gonna need diapers. Isn't that fun? I'm gonna need diapers. I'm gonna need a little perineal wash. I'm gonna need little nipple covers while this little gremlin sucks the life out of me. I'm gonna need a lot of things. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything possible that the mamas in my life told me I would need, because you're gonna read these blogs online and they're gonna be like, you need 700,000 things. And I can't do that mentally or emotionally. So I just had some moms to sit down with and be like, homegirl, what do I actually need? I got all those things. I organized them in my house. We goody to go. But I would say the main thing that I am doing to prepare for this little one is to prepare for postpartum. So I had a soup party, which was inspired by my friend Leah Gordon, a soup party in which my friends came over and they each brought a huge vat of soup. We sampled the soupies. Yes, we did. But the intention was to freeze the soup so that when I am in my postpartum, while I am resting with my little babylina, that I don't have to stress about having really nutrient dense, easy to digest foods. I don't have to leave my house. I could just thaw out a soup, heat it up, enjoy it for the whole day. So I would highly recommend meal prepping and getting things in the freezer that you actually want to eat. I'm actually filling to the brim with saliva right now thinking about some of these soups because I wanted to eat them all that night, but I didn't. I've never had more Tupperware in my life. I have never had more storage containers in my life. And they are filled, and now I have a second freezer that is filled with both chicken tendies and soup for postpartum. Couldn't recommend it more. Could not recommend it more. Also, setting up something like a meal train I think is super important. My doula is going to help me with that, but also just making sure that there's going to be as little stress as possible, because I think so much thought goes into, okay, how am I going to grow this baby? What does this test mean? What does this symptom mean? But then all of that's going to come to an abrupt end, and then I'm going to be postpartum healing from whatever it is that happened in the birth process while taking care of a new human. So that's something that I'm definitely doing. I'm also preparing my body. I am getting weekly acupuncture, weekly chiropractic. I'm also working on my mental health with something called NET, which is neuro-emotional technique, which is something that is helping me overcome any of my limiting beliefs, any past traumas, any fears that are coming up around this birth space so that I can work through them now so I don't have to see them and meet them for the first time in my conscious awareness while I am giving birth. So that has been really powerful and empowering to me, but also just touch. And as my body is not only just what it's doing to reduce stress, but also what it's doing to balance the pelvis and to balance my nervous system. And there are points that you can do that flip your baby, that help you, process the emotional pieces. And by points, I'm talking about acupuncture points, right? As baby just kicked. But I love acupuncture, I love massage, I love chiropractic, pelvic floor therapy, all the things to make sure that physically I'm in alignment, but also that NET, that mental emotional support, that my mind, that my spirit, that my soul feels in alignment with what is about to happen, because it's almost like this impending doom feeling, not like a bad doom, not like a really bad doom, but like oh fuck kind of doom is definitely happening. I'm also taking lots of herbs. I'm taking lots of herbs that are called Partus preparators, which basically just means that they're preparing the uterus to do the damn thing. And there are so many herbs out there, not your doctor. So you want to always check, because herbs are medicine, but there are certain types of herbs that actually help and strengthen the uterus and that have been shown to decrease things like hemorrhage, that have been shown to regulate contractions, that have been shown to just strengthen all aspects of that uterine dance that is birth. So I've been taking those throughout the entire third trimester to get ready. Also things like red raspberry tea, just to nourish me deeply and to nourish baby in the womb. I've also been taking homeopathy, which I wish I could even just list off a couple remedies to you, but if you know anything about homeopathy, they're very unique and they're very specific to the person, to the situation, to your needs. So working with someone one-on-one would be ideal to figure out the remedies that you need, but I also have a bunch of remedies on hand for birth. So for instance, if I start freaking out and getting scared about death, I'm gonna take aconite during birth. If I start, crying and then laughing and then crying and giggling and then baby's flipping, flopping around, I'm gonna take some pulsatilla. If my contractions start and then stop, or if they're like horribly painful, or if labor isn't happening, I'm gonna take some Colosynthis. If I am bruising at all, I'm gonna take some arnica. So you see how I'm just like listing off these things, but there are so many ways that homeopathy can help support whatever is presenting in birth, which is why it's also cool to have someone around that can help you with that during the birth process. So I got like all my tools ready. I got my homeopathy ready, my herbs ready. I am setting the scene. I am setting the scene physically in my home, because that's where I'll be giving birth. I have my crystals out. I have my altar with the picture of my grandma. I will be wearing my other grandmother's wedding ring. I will just have all things that help me feel empowered and safe. I will have my birth playlist on. All of these things, are my intentions, right? We never know what's going to happen, but I'm also mentally trying to visualize and meditate and manifest what I want and what I am calling in. So to do that as well, I'm also reading birth books. So I am reading a book called Labor Like a Goddess, which I love. I love this book because it talks about walking through different gates of transformation from the transition from maiden to mother. And it's been really powerful for me to just see where my fears are and where my limiting beliefs are. And I read it in the bathtub every night that I soak in while I am envisioning birthing my baby out. I also talk to her all the time. I think that that is really special because you have this whole other soul inside of your body and you can feel this soul inside of your body. And I sing her songs. I play music for her. I talk to her about her birth. I visualize her being birthed nice and easily and happily. All these things that are just helping me to prepare as much as you can. Again, how can you prepare to jump off a cliff? Something else that is really helpful for like the physical aspect of it is a birth ball. So this is something that I've been sitting on and just doing like hip rocks forward and backwards, doing like figure eights, like grinding on this ball because it helps to open up the pelvic floor and it just feels really good for the low back. Something else that I think is key that your midwife is gonna love is something called a forward leaning inversion, which I would show you if I wasn't excruciatingly pregnant, sitting in a chair in a dress. I would show it to you. But basically, you just lean on the floor with your booty up in the air, supported by the couch, and you're gonna take a couple breaths. 30 to 45 seconds is all that you need. And basically, when you're upside down with your ass up, face down, what happens is that your uterus releases tension, and it just creates some more space for the baby so that the baby can sit in the most optimal position. So that's something that I do every single day. I'm also just trying to focus on relaxing, because we have to relax. We have to feel safe. We have to feel nourished. I'm sleeping so much. I've actually never had this long where I didn't have an alarm to wake me up. Now, if I have to wake up for something, it's jarring. Maternity leave is nice. It's just been a couple weeks though. And then soon the little baby Lena will come into the world. Wow. So truly the main things that I'm doing are just preparing for postpartum, getting my herbal and homeopathic remedies in order, and making sure that physically I'm in the best place possible. I highly encourage you, whether you have a day or a week or an hour, I guess you never know when the birth is going to take place, huh? I encourage you to give yourself some of that space and that time to just get in alignment, to get ready. And also leaning on the mamas and papas and family and friends in your world so that they can know what you need postpartum, which you're gonna need food. And from what I hear, you're also gonna need like nipple cream. Just throwing that out there. Wow. I feel so many things. I can't even believe that next time that I'll be sitting in front of this camera, I will be postpartum. And you know, maybe my baby will be here just slapped onto the tita. She might be, we don't know. I think she's gonna be a peaceful baby. She's gonna be a Capricorn, so she's gonna be the most grounded one in the house, that's for damn sure. But I think she's gonna be a peaceful baby. I do. She'll be perfect, and I can't wait for you to meet her. If you have any questions or things that have helped you prepare to give birth, please leave them in the comments below. I also took a birth class, forgot to say that. It was great. It was really great. So many birth classes out there. But just to like prepare me on all the different levels with the physiology, but also like the mental, emotional, energetic aspects. But if you know anything else that has really helped you, please leave it in the comments below. I am always learning. I'm a first-time mom. We are learning together. Sharing is how we communicate this different type of information with one another. And make sure that you subscribe to this podcast and share it with someone that might need to hear it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening along. See you on the other side.